And what is up, everybody? Welcome to the Inland Sports Show. I'm your host, Pep Fernandez. We appreciate you tuning in. Give this video a like and subscribe to the Inland Sports Show YouTube channel. Thousands have already done it. You can too. It's absolutely free, and we appreciate your support. We got a big show coming up a little bit later. We're going to check in with Norte Vista boys soccer coach Matt Beliveau. We're going to hear from the Hemet football team. The Hemet football team might be the smartest football team in the entire country, and they just won a huge award from the National Football Foundation. We'll talk about that, and also the inspiring story of Patrick Abram turning a tragedy into something good that he's using to give back to his local community, and we'll tell you how you can get involved with that. But first, we want to start with some wrestling. We're going to hit the mat with the Corona Girls Wrestling Team, your CIF Southern Section Division I dual champions for the second time in the last 5 years. Congrats to Coach Jimmie Bowers and the ladies getting it done. There's Coach G there as well. And they also brought us our Big Boost Play of the Week. Inland Sports. Here it is, highlights from their Division I championship win in their home gym as they defeated Marina by a final score of 46-30 for, again, the Division I Southern Section dual championship. They got the individual CIF coming up this weekend, hoping to pick up another championship there, but this one was big. I know they have a rivalry going on with Northview, but Marina beat Northview in the semifinals to set up this showdown with the Panthers at Corona High School, and the Corona girls getting it done. Again, 46-30, the final score against Marina, and that is 2 Division I championships in the last 5 years. Corona has made it to the Division I finals 5 consecutive seasons. They won it all in 2021, and they did it again this year in 2025. That's our Big Boost Play of the Week. The Corona Lady Panthers winning the CIF championship in Division I. We had a chance to catch up with head coach Jimmie Bowers. He's a local legend, and he did it again. Another title for Corona. There's Coach Bowers. Here we go. Inland Sports. None other than Jimmie Bowers, the head coach of the Corona girls wrestling team, CIF Southern Section Division I dual champions, Big 8 league champions again. Coach, is it 11 straight league titles? Is that correct, or am I getting that wrong?
Nope, you are absolutely correct. We haven't lost a league duel in 11 years.
How is that possible, Coach?
Duels. Say again?
How is that possible? 11 years, 11 straight league titles, and you've gone undefeated in league every single season?
Yes, sir. It's hard to say how we do it, but we just put it together, put a game plan, and there's teams in our league they're up and coming and have full squads as well. Because before we used to just win by mere numbers, right? Even though we won our duels too, I mean we win them pretty convincingly. I think our closest duel this year was 60-15.
Man,
that's our
dominant.
closest. So. These kids just put in the work. I have to give it to them. They're the ones that make it all happen. And we've just been fortunate.
Okay, so after the Big 8 league titles, obviously you go to CIF, and correct me if I'm wrong on this one, is it 5 straight appearances in the championship match in Division I?
Yeah.
You've won 2 of them, including this year, right?
Correct. So we have 2 different CIFs, right? We have a team CIF, a dual team. And then we have individuals, which also accumulate to team points. This is our dual team against team. And yes, we're the only Southern Section team that's been in it since inception in 2021, since it started it, which mirrored the boys. We're trying to get it similar to the boys' side because the boys have had duels forever. But yeah, every year they've had it. We've been blessed enough to make it to the championship. We were the very first ones to win a Division I dual team title. And we've been really close the last 3 years by 1 match of winning it. So I'm really glad that this year we were able to put it together and, come home with another title.
Coach, what was it about this year's group that, was able to win that D1 dual title? Was it something special or unique about this year's squad?
Well, this squad's been special for the last couple of years because they're, although I do have a couple of seniors here and there and a few juniors, my freshmen and sophomores, with the junior and senior leadership, have really come up together and made it all count. Last year, for example, when we won the individual CIF title and we made it to the finals again, a lot of people thought, man, we thought this was going to be a rebuilding year for you guys, right? Because you got a lot of freshmen and sophomores. I say, yeah, every year is a rebuilding year, right? Because we always get little pieces here and there that come up from JV to finally get their spot in the varsity. But, it's about two things. One, trusting the process. And then two, more important, is believing in themselves that they can do it. Once they can believe in themselves and they believe that they can make it count, that's when all the doors start opening for them. And I always try to, winning's fun. Don't get me wrong. I love winning. Everybody trains to win, right? We don't train to go out there and get our butt kicked, but I try to get the focus off of just trying to win everything. Fortunately, like this year we have, right? We won everything, every tournament, every duel. But I tell the kids, focus on just your match. Just do your job. Mm-hmm. If you do your job, everything else comes together, and try to take the pressure, because my team does put a lot of pressure on themselves, because we have a legacy, right? We're a dynasty here, and they're like, oh man, I'm trying to represent the C on my chest, if they win, let's say they barely win. A win's a win, but they barely win. They'll be down, like, everybody got a pin and I got to win. I got a decision. I said, what are you thinking? What's going on with you? Right? Or, kids that don't win in a duel, but I actually have to explain to them it's a team effort, one soldier goes down, but everybody else is going to make up for it. So they're all, like I said, all special and unique in all ways. The key thing is they actually believe that they're good, and they trust their training. They ask a lot of questions, try to be better every time. We always talk about in our room, right? Get 1% better today. Right.
Hey, Coach, let me piggyback off that real quick, because they might be talented, they might be athletic, but how do you coach belief? How do you coach confidence?
You know what? That's a very good question, and it's not easy by any means, but it's about letting your athletes know that no matter what, you're there for them, because it's life-changing, right? I try to relate a lot of things to real life situations, man. You're going to get knocked down. You're going to feel like you're a failure. But as long as you finish, I don't care if it's a W or L, as long as you finish, that's successful right there. And believe me, especially coaching girls, it's a very emotional thing, right? And they get me emotional. I try to tell them, oh yeah, it's good. I'm emotional because I'm getting old, but we really, it's really a cohesive family unit. We're, as coaches, I don't have to tell you because you talk to a lot of coaches, but we're therapists, we're father figures or mother figures for the female coaches, big brothers, right? Mentors, psychologists, you name it. And we hold that a lot on our shoulders. And I have to say, man, I'm not successful because these girls are trusting and everything. Our whole village, our whole village. I got two great coaches that I lean on a lot this year that I hired within the last couple of years. And they're the ones that really helped me put it all together, because for many years I did this all by myself. I had a coach here, a coach there, whatever, but I've been through so many coaches. But I think we found the formula to make the whole thing successful. And I have to give the credit to them, because they're the ones that are really helping these kids, because they're younger than me too. And they got the new vibe, if you will, right? Even though my kids are really close to me, my coaches are super close to me. But we have to all lean on each other and believe that we can do this together. Nobody's like I hate taking the credit for all the stuff. A lot of coaches come and do, hey, Bowers, you doing? And I always point to my coaches. Hey, come here. See this person? They're the ones that did it. Give them a high five because we do it all together. But yeah, coaching belief, you have to dig deep. It's not about winning. It's not about any of that. It's about how do I get past this obstacle, to get to the next thing that I want to do. Whatever that is, right? Yeah. So I'm extremely proud.
That's awesome, Coach. That's a great answer. Let me go back to the championship for the D1 duels, and you guys were able to win the title on your home mat, like at Corona High School, right? How special was that?
Man, funny thing, I even pulled out my old coaching shirt from 2021, and my jeans. I said I'm gonna wear all the same thing. We're gonna, we get to bring it back home. But I'll tell you, it was super special because, the last time we did it there, we won it, and there's nothing like, winning it in front of your home crowd, your families that otherwise couldn't make it because sometimes it's kind of far. Our own student body, be able to show up, what we call our Red Sea and Corona, our little hype up crowd. They got to be there. Our cheerleaders are always there. It was really special. It was really special to have some administrators from the district there, and they're usually there anyways. But just at home, it was pretty overwhelmingly emotional. Let's put it that way. When the press enterprise was there, and Eric and I, we go way back because fortunately, we're pretty successful. And he asked me a question, same thing that you asked me. So what do you make of this? Being your 5th time here, you get to bring it back home and you're winning it. And I literally broke down in tears, right? And I had to tell him, I couldn't even spit it out. I just had to collect myself first. And I said, that's what it means, because when you look at the kids' faces, I got some new kids out there, and they're putting in the work, just to see on their faces and them get excited from all their hard work. It was really special. It meant a lot.
Yeah. Well, Coach, one last question for you. So what's next now? You talk about CIF individuals, masters, I guess ultimately the state meet, right? So what's coming up the next couple of weeks for you guys?
Yeah, well, actually this Friday and Saturday, our girls, we host CIF, our particular division. I think we're the Eastern Division. After we compete there's 32 girls per bracket, qualifiers from all over the place, all different areas in the Southern section. And the top 8 that get through that qualify for the CIF Masters. Because our section's so big, we have to do it in, qualifier in sections and then go to the big Masters Southern section meet. And then from there, so top 32 basically go there too out of these 4 divisions, because there's 4 divisions that all compete. So the top 8 in each one, we go to the Masters, which will be at Sonora the following weekend. And out of those top 32 girls in Southern section, those top 8 that place qualify for the state championships. So it's still, we still got this whole month, and this weekend we have a chance to win another CIF title, which we won. Fortunately, knock on wood, we won 3 years in a row already. So I'm really looking forward to it. We always have good competition there, so nothing's given. But like I told my girls, it's just another tournament for us. I battle tested them. I put my girls in the best tournaments, the toughest tournaments. And I'm not sure if you're aware, but we actually host the biggest and toughest girls tournament on the Western region. Some consider the best in the country. So, and we won that. Wasn't easy, but like I said, it's been battle tested. So I told my girls this is a smaller scale of what we're used to. So just wrestle out there and have fun and wherever things fall, they fall, but don't focus on what we have to accomplish. Just accomplish your match one at a time.
All right, Coach, one more quick follow-up question, because you talked about that tournament and then you just had the duels and individuals are now coming up this weekend. Are you organizing all this at the same time? Are you coaching and like responsible for making sure the tournament and everything goes off without a hitch?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Wow.
But I've been doing this 36 years, so that's why it's so awesome that I have a great coaching staff, because I don't have to do a lot of it. I don't have to do a lot of the coaching where I normally have to do that, then have to make time for this. We put a plan together every week. We execute that plan, and I'm able to handle other things behind the scenes to make it all come together.
I mean, is it like every small detail, like, hey, do we have enough candy bars in the snack bar for the weekend? I mean, like, is it everything?
No, I don't have to do that. I don't touch snack bar. I totally terrible about that. But I do have some awesome wrestling moms and a team mom that literally take that off my hands. Because I used to do that too up until the last 2 years. I don't have to do that. When somebody asks me a snack bar question, I give them a number. Here, call this number. I am done with that. Coaching, I can coach my butt off anytime, but when it comes to snack bar stuff and logistics, I just can't even focus.
No, Coach, I can tell you're smart. Surround yourself with good people, right? That you can be like, hey, that's not me. Here's their number. You can, they'll help you out.
Exactly.
Well, Coach, listen, congratulations. It's been another awesome season for Corona Girls Wrestling, and best of luck this weekend and for the entire, rest of February. I don't know, is the state meet technically in February or the first week of March?
Yeah, the state meet is the last week of February.
Got it. Okay, up in Bakersfield again?
Yes, sir.
All right. That is Jimmie Bowers. He's the head coach for the Corona Girls Wrestling team here on the Inland Sports Show. Thank you so much, Coach.
Thank you very much, Pep. I appreciate it.
Inland Sports. The one and only Jimmie Bowers here on the Inland Sports Show. When we come back, we'll talk some high school basketball and soccer playoffs. That's next here on the Inland Sports Show right after this. And this segment of the Inland Sports Show is brought to you by Kids Sporting Goods in Norco. #1 in the Inland Empire for team uniforms, sports equipment, and Letterman's jackets. Boost Performance Training in Corona. Athletes of all levels and all sports train at Boost. And also ask about the Bass Private School. Paulson Orthodontics in Redlands. Personalized treatment you deserve from an orthodontist you can trust. Chick-fil-A in Yucaipa, right off the 10 freeway at Yucaipa Boulevard. Eat more chicken. And if you'd like to promote your business or organization on the show, send us an email. Help us share the positive sports stories here in the Inland Empire. The Inland Sports Show is proud to partner with Dr. Marcus Paulson and Paulson Orthodontics in Redlands. Dr. Paulson and his team work with children, teens, and adults using orthodontic products like traditional braces and Invisalign to make a difference in the appearance, comfort, and function of each patient's teeth. Paulson Orthodontics welcomes new patients, so schedule a visit today. Paulson Orthodontics. We make braces fun.
Parents, is your young athlete training too much? Stay tuned to find out. Did you know that the recommended dosage of training hours per week should not exceed your child's age? This means that if your child is 13, they should receive no more than 13 hours of speed training, strength training, sports practice, and competition within 7 days. So, don't burn your kids out, keep development fun, and more importantly, don't be a crazy parent. Boostman.
All right, welcome back to the Inland Sports Show. We're going to talk some high school basketball and high school soccer playoffs in this segment, including an interview with Norte Vista boys coach Matt Beliveau. But we start with some high school basketball, some huge games coming up in the first round. It was really hard to pick a Kin Sporting Goods must-see game for basketball, but we picked this one. It's going to be the Battle of the Bears, Bear versus Bear. Temecula Valley Golden Bears from the Southwestern League going on the road to the Riverside Poly Bears, the Bears Den, the Ivy League co-champions. And every time, the Ivy League plays the Southwestern League or the Big 8 League, there's always good battles. And this feels more like a semifinal game more than a first round game, but it's going to be a good one. Temecula Valley and Riverside Poly boys basketball tonight. So if you're watching us live and amplified on Wednesday night, they're on the court right now. So that's a big one in boys basketball. And we also picked a Kin Sporting Goods must-see game on the soccer pitch. It's CIF Southern Section Division I reigning champion Roosevelt going on the road to Southwestern League champion Great Oak. And again, this does not feel like a first-round game. This feels like it should be much deeper in the playoffs, but here we are. So we'll see if Roosevelt can defend their Division I title. And it all starts with this, going on the road down to Temecula, taking on a very good Great Oak team. That's our Kin Sporting Goods must-see soccer game this week. And speaking of soccer, congratulations going out to Norte Vista boys. They won the River Valley League championship this season. And for head coach Matt Beliveau, this is his 12th league title since he took over the program, more than 20 years ago. This year, he says it was very rewarding because the Braves did not make the playoffs last season, but they won a league title this year. They're back in the playoffs, and they're hoping to make a CIF run. Here's Coach Beliveau.
Inland Sports.
And now join us here on the show. These guys are coming off a River Valley League championship. Now they're getting ready for the CIF Southern Section Division III playoffs. Is the head coach of the Norte Vista Braves boys soccer team, Matt Beliveau. And Coach, first off, congrats on an RVL championship. I'm going to put you on the spot. I'm not trying to say you're old, but how many years have you been coaching, and how many years as the head coach at Novi?
So I've been coaching since I was 18 years old. Started in ASO, then went to club, and then played in college, and then started coaching high school while I was in college, and then got a teaching credential, and it just sort of panned out from there. Made my way to Norte Vista 2001, been the head coach ever 2002 is when I started.
All right, Coach, I know Norte Vista has kind of, moved around from league to league over the years, but do you know off the top of your head how many league championships you guys have won since you've been at the helm?
I do. 12 since I've been there. So it's my 12th one. A little extra special, this one, because we didn't make the playoffs last year, and that was the first time I missed the playoffs ever. So it was nice to make a turnaround from that.
Well, Coach, that's the perfect segue to my next question. Did it feel like a redemptive season? Did it feel like you guys had something to prove? Because Novi's always had a strong, boys soccer program. Did you feel like, man, we got to prove ourselves all over again this season?
Well, there was a little soul searching over the summertime. You miss out. You kind of go, well, what type of coach am I? What could I have done better? And so then just went back, reevaluated the kids that are coming in. And we also have turf, and that made a big difference this year because we were always playing on grass and wasn't exactly the greatest grass. So now that you're on turf, you have a different style, and we're able to actually play by knocking the ball around a little bit better than, you never know when you're on grass what type of bump you're going to get. So I feel like that had contributed, and then the boys responded, so that always is helpful.
Yeah, Coach, on that turf, I think the teams that are more technically sound, that have the skills, they can really display that. When I played, I wasn't the greatest player. Grass was great. It was kind of the great equalizer, especially if there's bad weather. It was the great equalizer when you're playing a good team. But you feel like with that turf, though, you've had talented players at Novi, and you certainly did again this season. Those skills were really able to be showcased, right?
That's correct. I mean, when you have to put your head down on the grass to, make sure you're collecting it correctly versus when you get a smooth turf and now you don't have to worry about that. And now you got your head up and you're looking around to hit your target or your winger or, looking secondary to maybe you're going negative to your defenders. And it just makes it for a better game. And I like it because now the kids are able to, like you said, showcase their talents, and they have a lot of talent in our area, and it's nice to see.
All right, Coach, the CIF Southern Section Division III playoffs, the first round scheduled for Thursday. You guys will open up at home on your beautiful new turf against Troy. But I did want to ask you, because obviously an important match coming up. The playoffs are coming up. You've got big goals for this team. But also your daughter, Madison, right, is making her college debut with the Wisconsin Badgers right now. I mean, the college softball season just opened up this past weekend, right?
That is correct. She got a chance to pitch against Ole Miss. They gave her an inning, and she performed well. She got struck out their number 4 batter, who was All-American. So that gave her a little boost of confidence. But she's got to compete. They got a deep staff, and she's doing well for herself and making an adjustment. Wisconsin's a little different weather than, California. So,
yeah, I know a lot of those Midwest schools or East Coast schools, they love to come out west for those early season tournaments to California, Arizona. I know we have the Mary Nutter. It's a big tournament out there, like in the Coachella Valley. So they love to come out this way to escape those cold weather. But Coach, going back to your soccer team, obviously an exciting time in the Beliveau house with Madison doing her thing and the soccer team making the playoffs and winning that league championship. Going into Thursday in this first round match against Troy in D3, what do you think your team has to do well to get that first playoff win and move forward?
Pay attention to the details and focus on those. Do not make sure. Well, I don't say, how do I put it without putting too much information out there, right? Basically, just continue to what we're doing well, focus on that, and pay attention to all those little minor details. And it really comes down to, the first game in a playoff game, everybody's got nerves. And so you've got to make sure you manage those nerves early, and then who's going to make a mistake. Make sure you don't make a big mistake. Make sure that if they make a mistake, you capitalize on their mistakes. So it really comes down to, once you get settled in quickly and just start playing your game.
Now, Coach, I haven't looked up Troy High School, your first round opponent, so I don't know what they're all about. I don't know if they're more of a defensive team, offensive team, but at the end of the day, as you prepare for this first round matchup, is it more about what you guys do and less about what your opponent is trying to do?
I don't know anything about Troy, and I only focus on Norte Vista, to be honest with you. Once we see them, we've played numerous games already, so our preseason was difficult, so we should be prepared to make the immediate adjustments as soon as they happen. So whatever they bring at us, we've probably already seen. There may be a new wrinkle, which is the playoffs, and then we just make our adjustments. But then, they're going to have to adjust to us too. So we want to make sure that we play our way at home, especially, and, take it to them.
Okay, Coach, without giving away all your secrets, as this week during practice leading up to that first round playoff game, what are some things that you might want to be working on, or what might be the message to your team as well to get them ready, not only for this first round game, but to maybe inspire them, maybe build up that confidence that, hey guys, if we could stack together a couple wins, I mean, why not us in Division III to get all the way to the finals?
Well, I think motivation, first off, is already there. We started 0-2-3, wasn't like the best of starts, and I just kept reminding them we have a lot of talent, and I'd rather go 0-10 and work on what we need to work on in the preseason to go 10-0 in league, and that'll prepare you for the playoffs. So they've got the motivation. They know what's there. It's just a matter of fine-tuning what we're doing well and making sure that there's a couple things in films I didn't like. So we'll go over that and practice those patterns. And then, again, work on set pieces and try and eliminate mistakes.
So, Coach, with that said, rewind back to November. How much has this team grown or improved over the last couple of months to this point right now as you guys go into the playoffs?
They've grown by leaps and bounds. They had the talent. It's kind of a blend of seniors and sophomores with a few juniors in there. And so it's just a matter of you play a few games or a lot of games early and you don't have practice, but you make the mistakes. And then once you get, like, we got out of our own tournament, and I think we didn't win any games, and we tied 2, and we should have done better than we thought. And then we were able to go back to practice and tweak what was wrong and eliminate some of those. And then we started getting on a roll. So that helped.
So, Coach, it sounds like with your roster, it's kind of built to win right now. You said you've got some good seniors, but you've also got a strong sophomore class. So you're built to win now, but also the future looks pretty good for Novi soccer. Is that safe to say?
I always tell my guys that I never rebuild. I don't think it's fair to my seniors to say that. Why would I want to rebuild? If I was going to rebuild, I'd just cut all my seniors and just play juniors and sophomores. And that's just not fair to them. They've put in their hard work. So I tell everybody, we're playing to win now. And it's, help your seniors, because when you're a senior, you want the same respect and the same motivation and the same amount of effort.
Well, Coach, listen, congratulations on that River Valley League championship this season and getting to the CIF Southern Section Division III playoffs. We were talking a little bit off air. You guys are the number 2 seed in Division III. You can find Novi at the bottom of the bracket. I think Gar's the number 1. You guys are the number 2. You open up against Troy. And then if you win that one, who knows? Maybe you guys string together a couple wins and make it to that championship match.
Right. Well, that next game would be Sonora Sunny Hills?
You got it.
Yeah, I'd like to see Sunny Hills. I'll put that on record.
Yeah, that would be a second-round matchup. And as at the time that we do this interview, the championship coin flips have not been done for the second round. So we don't know if you guys would be home or on the road for that one, because Sunny Hills is home in the first round as well. So that would be a coin flip to see who would host that next round game. But first things first, Thursday, you guys need to go out to Norte Vista High School, support the Braves. They will open up at home against Troy High School. Coach Beliveau, thank you so much for the time. Again, congrats on the league title and also getting back to the playoffs, and best of luck in Division III.
Well, Pep, thank you for having me, and I appreciate the opportunity to talk about Norte Vista boys soccer.
Inland Sports.
All right, go Braves. Good luck in the playoffs. When we come back, we'll talk some football. And with the Hemet Bulldogs, one of the smartest teams in the entire country, we'll talk about their big award and how you can help Patrick Abram. He's a local football coach. He's got a great organization on giving back to the Ronald McDonald House. We'll have his story as well when we come back here on the Inland Sports Show. And this segment of the Inland Sports Show is brought to you by Kids Sporting Goods in Norco, #1 in the Inland Empire for team uniforms, sports equipment, and Letterman's jackets. Boost Performance Training in Corona. Athletes of all levels and all sports train at Boost. And also ask about the Bass Private School. Paulson Orthodontics in Redlands. Personalized treatment you deserve from an orthodontist you can trust. Chick-fil-A in Yucaipa, right off the 10 freeway at Yucaipa Boulevard. Eat more chicken. And if you'd like to promote your business or organization on the show, send us an email. Help us share the positive sports stories here in the Inland Empire.
Here are 3 tips for improved sleep for student athletes. Number 1, try not to perform any activities in your bedroom besides sleeping. This associates your bedroom with sleep. Number 2, only go to your bed when you're really sleepy and after a routine. This way, when you see your bed, you'll think of sleep. Number 3, if you can't sleep, get out of your bed or bedroom. This way, you can prevent your bed or bedroom from becoming a wakeful trigger. Sleep plays an important role in your development as a student and athlete. So if you want to play at your best, get some rest. Boostman.
This is Centennial Boys basketball coach Josh Giles, and you are watching the Inland Sports Show.
Inland Sports.
And listen, Jalen Hurts was the MVP. Saquon Barkley, you could say, is maybe the reason they got to the Super Bowl. But in the Super Bowl, for me, it was that defense and what they did to Patrick Mahomes, Travis Kelce, that offense. They had absolutely nothing until the end of the game.
Cooper DeJean, the freaking birthday boy with the pick takes it all the way back. I was just like, what is happening?
Yeah, not only just the interceptions, but like the timeliness of them, like where they were at on the field, at what point in the game. Like it was just everything was clicking for Philadelphia. And, you know, again, like I was joking with my wife, like, oh my gosh, this game has gone off script. What are the referees going to do to try to pull Kansas City back in? And it never happened.
It never happened, man. And that's the way it goes. There's a reason. 3 Super Bowls in a row. Not so easy.
Remember, Tom Brady is part owner of the Las Vegas Raiders, right? They're trying to change the image. And listen, old guys rule, man. They already brought in Pete Carroll as the head coach. Bring in old man Aaron Rodgers. Let's keep it going.
I guess it all kind of matters maybe a little bit on what Chip Kelly thinks, right? If he thinks he just needs a quarterback to be accurate and make quick, easy decisions, Aaron Rodgers might fit that mold.
Yeah. And there's still a lot of things in play. Here's another scenario. Aaron Rodgers goes to the Steelers. Russell Wilson walks. He leaves Pittsburgh. He rejoins Pete Carroll with the Raiders. I mean, there's still a lot of things in play, but it seems like Aaron Rodgers to the Raiders could be a possibility here. Steelers, Vikings, there's a lot of teams out there that might need a starting quarterback going into next season.
Wow.
So, and that came out on Super Sunday. It's like, oh man, that's big news, but it's going to be buried by the Eagles burying Kansas City.
Inland Sports.
Every Monday and Thursday morning, breaking it down with my guy Patrick in the morning on KCAL 96.7 FM. Let's talk some high school football. Yes, I know it's the off season, but high school football never quits, right? We are always talking high school football here on the Inland Sports Show, and a huge honor for the Hemet Bulldogs. They won the Hatchell Cup presented by the National Football Foundation, going to the best team in the entire nation who can get it done on the football field and also get it done in the classroom. The Bulldogs have some really smart guys on the team. Head coach Jeff Galloway has got some really good ones, including Draven Lopez, his star quarterback, Tyler Trout. We're going to hear from him as well, another star football player who's also excelling on the baseball diamond. So here's the Hemet Bulldogs, your Hatchell Cup winners here in 2025.
Inland Sports.
And now join us here on the Inland Sports Show. We got the Hemet High School football team. We got Coach Jeff Galloway. We got Draven Lopez. We got Tyler Trout. And normally we'd be talking about, I don't know, some big first place battle or a league championship or going to the playoffs. But we're going to talk about the classroom with the Bulldogs in this interview. Coach Galloway, so you hit me up and said you guys won some big Hatchell Cup award. First off, what is this award for? What did you guys do to earn this?
It's awards for the academics for our football team and what we do in the classroom, not just on the football field. We have to have success on the football field, and we have to be into the playoffs in order, one of the qualifications to get in. And I submitted our GPAs and said, I think we can represent California and Hemet High School really well with this GPA with our impressive players that we have here. And lo and behold, we won it.
I like that it takes your football success and what you do in the classroom. You can't have a bunch of dummies, and go 10-0, and then at the flip side go 0-10 and have a bunch of smart kids. Like it takes both, right? So,
yeah.
And I know you've got two guys right there in the room with you that are awesome football players, but also awesome students as well. Draven Lopez, from what I heard, is he the valedictorian at Hemet High School?
When we applied, he was currently ranked number 1.
Okay.
I don't think it's official yet on who's the valedictorian, but he's either 1 or 2.
He's right there.
With the 3-sport athlete, that is impressive.
And then, Coach, I'm going to get to your guys in just a second, but how does it make your job easier as the head football coach, knowing that your quarterback can handle a lot? He's a smart guy. He can process. He can make good decisions.
Yeah, it makes it a lot easier that way, especially when he knows football as well as he does his studies and all his academics. And he picks things up really well. It makes it easy to help game plan and then help understand the scheme and what we're doing. It makes it easier that way. And he's also able to lead. Time management, he's got that down like nobody's business because, just look at his GPA and what he's accomplished playing 3 sports, all the extracurriculars outside of sports, and managing in the classroom. So to me, I've never had a football player that's been that high academically ever. And I've been doing this for 28 years.
So, Coach, having guys like Draven and Tyler on your team, how does that affect the rest of the team when they can see, like, man, the team's best players are hitting the books hard, like they care about their grades, they know that it matters? Does that have like a ripple effect maybe with their teammates in the locker room?
Well, it has a ripple effect, I think, with everybody to be successful in our program. Our famous motto is be great, and that's what I brought in when we came in, and we set some standards, and we don't lower the standard for anybody. So our players have done a great job of meeting the standard and exceeding what we've asked. We have 27 honor roll football players in our program, which is impressive with the size of school that we have. We're 2,500 kids in our school, and these guys are able to manage their books, manage their time, and along with football, coming in sometimes 6 a.m. to practice, staying late, Friday night staying late at games, doing their academics and everything. They miss a lot to time management. They can't go out with their friends as much, but we've done a great job, and these guys have bought in, and it's been fun to have them there and take this ride. This is unexpected. I never thought we would ever get anything this large and get recognized like this. So it's great to see these guys and their success in the classroom get recognized.
Yeah, that's amazing. Let me go to your guys right now. I'm going to start with Tyler Trout. Tyler, first off, we all want to know, what's your GPA?
Oh, it was a 4.1 at the end of the second triad, and then it was a 4.5, I think, at the end of the semester.
Oh man, so Draven's looking over his shoulder like, oh my gosh, here comes Tyler, man. Maybe Tyler's the new number 1.
I'm close in the rankings. I'm probably about 8, 7. I think that's what it was.
Tyler, so what's your favorite class, or maybe what's the class that you excel in the most?
Oh, I think probably calculus, to be honest.
Oh my gosh.
I'm a math guy, so I've always been good in the classroom when it comes to math.
So what do you see yourself, I don't know, let's fast forward 4 or 5 years. What do you see yourself doing maybe in the real world one day?
Oh, I've thought about, teaching, maybe going in for engineering, something along those lines. Still haven't quite dialed it down yet.
Mm-hmm. Well, if you love math, man, engineering would be right up your alley.
Yeah, it's always been a possibility for sure.
So Tyler, what is the key to, balancing, playing football, playing other, whatever sports, doing, well in the classroom, studying? Is it routine? Is it self-discipline? Like, what do you think is key to just making sure that you're successful in everything that you do on the football field, the classroom, anywhere else?
It's definitely a fixed schedule. You have to have a routine. You have to like you get home and you just make sure you weigh out all your homework, make sure you don't miss anything. So you're missing any assignments, and hopefully you can crack that out in about an hour, hour and a half. And then you have your free time to work on film. If you need to focus on film, remember new plays for the week. Free time, obviously, it's a sacrifice that comes with playing football and being a good athlete, but we're all prepared for that.
Yeah, no, you're right, man. If you're going to be, have a great football program, if you're going to be a stud in the classroom, it does come with some sacrifices because you're going to miss out on some things because you're hitting the books so hard and practicing. And you guys at Hemet, like going into the playoffs and having a long, successful season. I mean, that's all time consuming. So do you want to play football at the next level, or are you going to hit the books hard?
I think I'm more going books and baseball.
Books and baseball, right? That's awesome, man. Congratulations, Tyler. You can be the next great Trout on the baseball diamond.
Yeah, we'll see.
and Draven, dude, last time we talked, you were number 1. You said hopefully you didn't slide to number 2. You've been slacking off this semester? What's going on?
No, so the way the GPAs work here, it's some classes count higher than others. And then the way the Val and Sal the calculations work are different than just GPA. So they take other things into account. And then if there's a tie, it goes to SAT score. So they actually announced it this Friday. We'll find out. But I'm either 1 or 2. So.
Well, awesome, man. Either way, congratulations. However it works out, man. You obviously had a great football career, quarterbacking the Bulldogs, and then to, do it in the classroom like you have. Like I asked Tyler, are you a math guy? Like, is there a certain class or something you enjoy doing and are successful in?
Yeah, so this year it's been statistics and then economics have been probably my 2 favorite classes. Just the teachers I really like, and then I really find that stuff interesting. So I think I'm going to go to college and major in economics.
That's so Coach Galloway. It's just crazy. Like these football studs, and they're like, oh yeah, statistics and calculus and economics. Like you don't hear that very often, I don't think.
No, you don't hear that hardly at all with your football guys walking around, unless you're in some Ivy League school or something, But yeah, we've been blessed with the athletes we've had the last few years here, and they're smart on the books, they're good on the field. The last 3 years we've had a lot of success, and our program's grown quite a bit. And it's helped to have athletes like them buy into the standard that we set when we came in.
Yeah.
When I took over, I set a standard, and I didn't lower it. My staff and we do a great job of holding them to that standard. Administration does a fantastic job of supporting everything we do with our athletes and giving us pretty much everything we need when we need it. So we have a huge supporting cast outside of football behind us. Admin, I can't say enough about, Dr. Franks. He's done a great job with our football program and supporting our athletes, supporting myself, and even the teachers on campus. They will refer an athlete to me if they're having a problem in class. And so with football and being their coach, it's an easier way to make sure that our kids are on task. They're doing what they're supposed to do. They're being good citizens, and they're doing well in the classroom.
Mm-hmm.
And it's what we strive for. I grade check them all the time. I make sure they're in their classes. They're doing what they need to do. They're on time. So it's pretty tough standard around here. But when they buy in, the results speak for themselves. They end up being successful. And when it's all said and done, Pep, that's what it's all about. Making sure these guys are successful. When they get out of high school, they can move on and do great things in life.
I imagine there was not a lot of checking up on Tyler or Draven over there.
No, a couple of times, though, we run it. We cross paths when we shouldn't. But for the most part, no. They're pretty good. They're good kids. They're all great kids.
So, Draven, what's next for you after Hemet?
So I think I'm going to go play football somewhere, whether it's Division II or Division III. I have a couple schools that I've been looking at and talking to. And then if I don't do that, I applied to a couple Ivy League schools, so I might end up going there and majoring in something out there.
Of course you did. So what do you want to be when you grow up?
So I haven't really dialed something in that, like Tyler said, but just something with economics and business and something like that, whether it's starting my own business, being a coach or something like that, just along those lines, staying in like the sports world.
Mm-hmm. That's awesome. All right, Coach, we'll wrap it up like this. Hopefully you got a bunch of more smart guys on your football team for next season so you can win this award back to back.
We'll give it our best shot, I'll tell you that.
But you know what? Also, obviously, they're just good kids, but a credit to Hemet High School and the support you have academically, right, from administration and the teachers to make sure these guys are, like you said, everyone knows grade checks are coming. And there's kids out there that don't pass those grade checks, but they know they're coming. But you guys, it seems like you've done a good job, not only, passing the grade checks, but having guys excel. Like, I mean, football players being like the top 10 in your class, like that's amazing.
Yeah, I mean, it all comes down to the kids that they buy into our program, they bought into our standards, and, you know, they buy into the motto of be great. That's what we brought in when we first came in. It's be great, and that's what they're striving for. They're being great in everything that they do, every aspect of their life. You know, and again, it goes along with the tremendous support from our administration. It also comes along with our community support as well. The community's all getting bought back in. And it's just, it's a great feeling to see these guys be successful in the academic world and, again, in the football world. I mean, we were 10-2. How long had it been since we were 10-2? Like 1966 or something, I think, was the best. We hadn't been that good since like 1966 when they went 11-2 and lost in the finals. You know, so having athletes like this and the support that we have for our program is tremendous, and it helps everybody grow.
Well, the bar is certainly set high for the Bulldogs. Coach Galloway, always appreciate the time. Draven Lopez, Tyler Trout as well. Congratulations, guys. You guys both have very bright futures. We'll probably be working for you guys one day. But I appreciate the time, man. You guys are doing some big things out there at Hemet High School. Thank you, Coach.
All right. Thank you, Pep. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Inland Sports.
All right, good work by the Bulldogs. And finally, here on the Inland Sports Show, we wanted to share this story with our guy, Patrick Abram. He's been a long-time local football coach in our area, recently assisting with Jeff Steinberg out at Beaumont High School. Well, Patrick and his wife tragically lost their infant son, but their son's legacy lives on by Patrick's contributions to the Ronald McDonald House. He's going to share that story and how you can also get involved. Here's Patrick Abram.
Inland Sports.
And now join us here on the Inland Sports Show. He's a local football coach, but he also has a very special tie to the Ronald McDonald House. It's Patrick Abram. And Patrick, first off, I know you're tight with Coach Steinberg, so if you're a friend of Coach Steinberg, you're a friend of mine. But Patrick, so before we get into FanWagon, and that's your group, tell us about why you have a special connection to the Ronald McDonald House.
Okay, well, thank you very much, Pep, for having me on tonight. My wife and I, unfortunately, had a child that was born at 6 months, a little premature, and due to some health complications, had to be transferred to a hospital far away from our home, and we were unable to provide a place to stay during that time. We were introduced to the Ronald McDonald House by our guardian angel, Miss Beth Mayo, and during the time that our son was at the hospital, in Los Angeles, we had resided in Ontario. He was able to receive his care, and my wife was able to reside and stay by his side, as she had asked me to make sure that happened when we were informed he had to be transferred. The Ronald McDonald House is an awesome charitable organization. They provide a place for families who have children who are dealing with illnesses and need treatment. And if they are unable to provide a place to stay, they are provided when there. There are many support groups that come in, provide meals, house cleaning and things of that nature. You're given your own private room. It's just a total, the best organization I think that there is. They really reach out for families, I think, at the most critical time, because there's nothing worse than dealing with a child, and a child especially who has an illness. Unfortunately for us, David did not win his battle. He was with us for about 3.5 weeks, and on our 1-year wedding anniversary is unfortunately when he passed away due to some complications from a surgery. So we were just forever indebted to the Ronald McDonald House Charities. We created a company that we will use as a vehicle to honor the memory of our son, David Allen Clay Abram, which we would like to donate a room at the Los Angeles Ronald McDonald House in his name, and to continue supporting the Ronald McDonald House for the life of our company. We would like to donate 10% of the proceeds that we derive from our company to the Ronald McDonald House.
That's such an awesome story, Coach. I mean, obviously going through such a, tragic time in your life, to not be burdened with, like you said, your wife stayed with him 24/7, and to not have that pressure of, having to pay for a hotel room or some of those other expenses. You were trying to work and, keep the family going, and she obviously did not want to leave his side. It sounds like it was a huge blessing.
Oh, a huge blessing, because for my wife especially, it was her first child. Obviously, I had two from a prior relationship, And it's a very hard situation for someone to go through, but to have that support system there was just amazing. Even when I wasn't there, when she needed to go, they offer transportation. And all the Ronald McDonald houses are logistically close to a children's hospital, so that there's not a really need to go too far. And I just want to give a shout out to the folks that helped create the Ronald McDonald House. First name is Mike, and I'm sorry I'm going to forget his last name, but he was a former USC player, played for the Minnesota Vikings, and his family, who had a daughter, Kim, who suffered leukemia, were the inspiration and helped get this Ronald McDonald House organization started. Now they're worldwide and helping millions of families deal with a very difficult situation.
Yeah, the Ronald McDonald House is such a huge blessing, and I know you want to have a room in your son's, in his honor, in his name, but that comes at a price as well, right? Like you were telling me off air, how much would that be?
I believe that the last check was sometime last year. It's approximately $50,000 if you donate a room. And then again, like I said, we'd also, to continue supporting them in our philanthropic endeavor, is to donate 10% because for the life of our company, because it's an organization that constantly gives back, and there will always be a need for it.
So, Coach, your organization, how long has it been around? And has this been like the end game, the goal? Like, hey, if we can raise enough funds to support the Ronald McDonald House and do this in my, son's honor, like that is the goal of our mission.
Well, the ultimate goal of the mission is to do that. But as the years have passed, and it actually started, to answer your question, approximately 2001, with my love of SC football and the resurgence of fans, and that's kind of how it came about. But beyond that, it's a means that we'll be able to support, I believe, many other endeavors. My wife and I are both huge supporters of youth sports and young people in education, so that's an avenue we'd like to. We'd like to partner with professional sports teams and athletes, and we'd really love to get athletes who have that same heart of giving back and work with their local high schools. And if we have a project together, that they're able to, maybe give some of their proceeds back to their local high school to keep it going. I just believe youth sports are very important for young people in schools. Not all of us are academians and, will go to school and become brain surgeons, in sports are another venue to keep kids in tune with school and focused on getting a good education as well.
So, Coach, you shared the story about your son. Why is giving back, especially giving back to your own community, why is that important to you?
It's important to me because of the way I was raised. I was raised by a single mom, Miss Renee Catherine Denard. And just a quick story about her. When I was a young man, the first time I was introduced to, you would call it philanthropic endeavors or giving back, my mom tirelessly raised some funds and clothing and gifts for a family of a student who attended my school. I didn't even know the young man. I was in elementary school. And I watched her go to stores, call people, organizations, collect all this stuff, and then actually go to the family's home, which wasn't in the best neighborhood from where I grew up, but walked up to the door and delivered these these gifts to this family. And just to see the joy and the tears of joy coming over the entire family and the thankfulness that it showed as a young man really touched my heart. And it's just something I've always done with my football teams. We've actually gone back to the Ronald McDonald House, especially prior to the pandemic, and we would go back and we would wash cars, clean the rooms. We'd even cook breakfast for the family. So, and I've worked with other organizations, the House of Ruth, giving back and doing a toy drive with them. It's just in my nature, and something I think everybody should do in the world. It'll make it a better place.
All right, Coach, finally, if people want to get involved and support your efforts here, how can they do that?
Well, they can reach out to me at my website at fanman at jumponthefanwagon.com. I'd also like to, I can give out my telephone number for coaches or any organizations that would like to reach out that way. That's area code 951-236-4557. And again, if you visit our website, there's our stories on there. There's a way to contact me and leave a message. I'd love to, the first 3 high schools or youth organizations that get involved, they will receive 90% of the proceeds from our fundraiser. and them selling the fan wagon merchandise for their school for the years that their fans jumped on the fan wagon, not the bandwagon. And after that, it'll probably be like about an 80% split, 75 where they go to the school, always with 10% going in that school's name as well as fan wagon back to the Ronald McDonald House charities.
That's awesome. Coach, listen, we really appreciate you sharing your story here on the Inland Sports Show. And if we can help out, just let us know. We appreciate it.
Pep, I appreciate the time, sir. It's a blessing to be on your show. I wish you well and good luck. And it's always a pleasure to check you out throughout the season. Thank you so much for your time.
Inland Sports.
And a big thanks to Patrick for sharing his story here on the Inland Sports Show. And a thanks to all of our guests tonight, Jimmie Bowers, the head girls wrestling coach at Corona High School, Matt Beliveau, Norte Vista boys soccer, and of course the Hemet Bulldogs football team. Smart guys in the classroom and also studs on the football field. We appreciate you watching. Give this video a like and subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. My name is Pep Fernandez. God bless you guys. Stay safe out there, and we'll see you next time on your favorite show, the Inland Sports Show. Good night.